Live from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, TGD Radio presents Tee It Up Grand Strand.
Welcome everyone to this edition of Tee It Up Grand Strand. I'm your host, Shan Coughlin, here with our very special guest from the International World Tour Golf Club, Mr. Tom Plankers. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hope you are.
I am. We've had a lot of sunshine, and we love that. That rain has gotten out of here, which makes for better golf for sure.
Most definitely. No, the golf courses are in great shape. I know we're in perfect shape with this weather we've had, so it's nice to see the sun.
Absolutely. So I even got to go out and play a couple rounds over the last shock, right? Over the last couple weeks. So it must be nice out for me to be able to get out there. So one of the things I love about International World Tour, well, quickly let's remind everyone, International World Tour is a different course in that it has replicated famous holes from around the world.
Right.
So it's the only place here you could play Amen Corner, part of St. Andrews, and some of those other great courses all in one round. But it has a 19th hole, not the bar, not the bar. Well, it has that too. A very nice one, I might add. But their 19th hole is an actual 19th hole, which you guys call the warm-up, and also can be used to settle some bets at the end of the round if need be.
Well, you're describing this pretty good.
I'm trying. I try to know my subjects here. So let's talk a little bit about this hole. It's unique.
Well, it's very unique. I think it's one of the only ones in Myrtle Beach that is an actual replica of a hole that's inspired by Jupiter Hills Club. Mm-hmm. This hole, like you said, you can use it for a warm-up hole where you hit some golf balls and then you want to see the exact what the green is going to putt like, what the fairways are going to be cut like, and God forbid you hit it in the rough, what it's going to look like. And we use it for a warm-up hole. We use it to settle bets, as you said. Mm-hmm. And we also use it if we do have some maintenance on the golf course. So if we have some problems with one of the holes, we do open that so you are playing 18 holes of golf.
And that makes it unique because sometimes if, there is an issue with the golf course or, when things happen, you can't always control those things. Some folks will put in a temporary green or, they'll even have you play around it and play something different. And it's not really another hole like it's supposed to be played. So this is a very cool
Well, it is because that way my maintenance crew can get out there and get it knocked out and get done. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to play around maintenance, and maintenance doesn't appreciate it, and the golfers don't appreciate it. So it's not real good to have it that way. So we're very fortunate to have one. Again, it was inspired by the Jupiter Hills Club.
And that is in Florida, correct?
Southeast Florida.
Okay.
It's a par 4. It's 429 yards long. It's their 5th hole at Jupiter Hills.
Okay.
It also plays as a rating of 74.4 and a slope of 144. So, and the yardage is only 6,900 yards, but it's a very, very unique golf course.
Well, you say unique. It sounds hard to me.
Well, yeah. When I tell you about the elevations in Florida, you won't believe it.
Okay.
It's funny if you look up the Jupiter Hills Club on the internet and take a look at it. The first thing that pops in what you'll see is it says guest policy, closed.
Closed. So, you in these closed golf courses, we've talked a lot about these. And folks, if you're on if you go to International World Tour's website, and we'll give you that address, go back through these interviews because it's a where to play for sure.
Oh my goodness,
and you have gotten to play all of them.
Unfortunately, not this one.
Okay, we found one, Jeff. He hasn't played.
This is a bucket list, but I don't know any members.
Okay, well, we'll have to okay, so members out there, if you're a member of Jupiter Hills and just feel the need to satisfy Mr. Planker's bucket list, give us a call here.
Please.
Okay.
In the late 1960s, William Elliott, George Fazio, and William Clay Ford Sr., and Bob Hope.
Really?
They all got together and with the purpose of establishing a very exclusive private golf club. And it is in Southeast Florida, as we said. Mm-hmm. The club that eventually they did was it is one of the finest in the world. And Jupiter Hills Club that they formed has 2 magnificent 18-hole golf courses. One of it called the Valley, and one of it called the Hills.
Okay.
And the Hills is the one we'll talk about today.
All right.
It's magnificent. And what they achieved was to really to establish a country club, and it is amongst the top 100 clubs in America, and
Wow.
it's been ranked that way forever. And it's probably one of the finest golf private clubs there is in the nation.
Wow.
A lot of people never heard of it.
I had not.
Well, until you start doing some research on it, it's hard to find anything on it because they are very
Exclusive, yeah.
very exclusive. It's located between the Intercoastal Waterway and a park. It's called Jonathan Dixon State Park. And that state park is very large, and it backs up to it. And the logo for the park itself that I thought was quite unique was it's a place where you can go to the park, and it's a calm oasis in the hustle and bustle of South Florida.
There you go.
So you can go to this park and not even know you're in South Florida. It's very, very unique. The Hills course was designed by George Fazio,
Okay.
and it sits on the highest piece of land in Florida, all of Florida. And on top of the land sits a 40,000 square foot, 2-story clubhouse.
Wow.
And that clubhouse overlooks the golf courses and the waterway. Jupiter Hills is very set in tradition and history.
Mhm.
They are very sticklers to the game of golf and the history and the tradition of it. There's a couple of little rules that I thought were quite not interesting but unique,
Right.
I guess, that no member or no visitor can change his shoes in the parking lot.
Okay.
But I
I've
don't
heard of that one though. I mean, I have heard of it, but it's not done anywhere around here.
No, but why would you want to change your shoes in the parking lot when you got a 40,000
Square
foot clubhouse? That the locker room itself has its own pool tables, billiard tables, card area,
Wow.
locker room facilities. It has its own lounges. It also has its food service, all in the men's locker room.
Inside the locker room.
Inside the locker room.
Nice.
So why in the world would you want to change your shoes in the parking lot? I have no clue. The other little thing that they have, which is kind of, it tells you how the club is and their tradition and how they are set themselves maybe a step above everyone else,
Okay.
is when you enter the club, there is no caps or hats. If you go in the golf shop, you have to take cap off.
Really?
You can't walk into the club at all with a cap or hat on. And of course, if you enter the dining room, like most country clubs, you have to
Right.
wear a jacket.
Right.
But I thought it was quite unique that you can't even wear your cap into the pro shop. You have to take it off. It's a gentleman's thing, and that's the way the tradition is, and it's the way they are.
Okay.
Quite interesting. Another thing I found out, they don't have any tee times. You come up and you play golf, and that's the way it is.
Now, in your research, did you find how many members do they have?
I don't know the number of members
Okay.
because they don't tell you.
Oh,
They
I
don't
guess
even want
not.
to let you know. But
Yeah.
there is Bobby Orr's name is on one of the locker
Very
rooms, so
cool.
he is a member there. In the summertime, such as we have here in Myrtle Beach, we consider kind of our slow time because it's a little warm.
Right.
And South Florida gets a little warm also.
Oh, yes.
Their average day, they'll play anywhere from 20 to 24 players a day.
Okay.
But don't forget, that's on 36 holes of golf.
Wow.
So it's not much activity.
No.
But on their busy days in the wintertime, they're really booming. They'll
Okay.
do 50 to 100
Wow.
on 36 holes.
Woohoo. Don't work too hard.
Yeah.
But how
and-
nice for the members. I mean,
Yeah.
no, you don't need tee times when you've got 100 tops going out there.
No, you don't need everyone. They normally play when they want to play, and if someone else is on the tee, they just sit back and wait, and off they go, or they go to the other golf course.
I think it's amazing, too, you can maintain the food service in a locker room as well as a dining room, only playing that many players.
Well, it's the club itself is the golf is a very, very nice experience. But to enter the clubhouse and to be the ambience of the clubhouse, they tell me, is just unbelievable. I know of a person who has played there,
Okay.
and he just can't get over how he was treated when he was there.
Oh, I bet.
The other thing, in most clubs, as we were talking about rounds of golf, obviously, most clubs in South Florida in wintertime play, an 18-hole golf course will play 200 plus. So you can see that they're not that real busy.
Right, right.
The other interesting regulation that they just came up with, they have to stay in tune with the times, obviously, even with the tradition, was there is no cell phones allowed on the premises, period.
Like at Augusta for the Masters.
Well, you have to leave. If you go to that club,
Right.
you leave your cell phone in the car or you leave it at the house.
Wow.
They will not allow you to even enter the place with a cell phone,
Okay.
which in some circumstances isn't all that bad if you think
Yeah.
about it. I mean, you're out there playing golf, enjoying the
You
scenery.
can totally
and all.
relax.
Sure. If you're very lucky to be invited as a member's guest, what also is unique about this club, whether you play for a day, whether you play for a week or whatever, every staff member will know your name. And every time they greet you, it's, "Hi, Mr. So-and-so, hi, Mr. Smith." And it goes throughout the club to every place. Everyone knows your name. That is one thing that is so unique. And again, it's their tradition of customer service and excellency to coming there. The other thing that was quite interesting is that I will never be able to get to be a member. I know that. I probably won't even, you can't even get to it.
Right.
But if you are, the initiation fees are a little north than $275,000.
Wow.
So that kind of tells you how private this place is.
Yeah, and how they can afford to keep up a food staff in the
Well,
locker room.
also, the dues are in 5 figures.
Wow.
That's not including, as you mentioned, the food.
Yes.
That
Food
is-
minimum.
That's also as a food minimum. The one thing else that's quite interesting about this club is that every staff member, there's no tipping whatsoever, none. Because every staff member is on a salary. They're all paid salary.
So you don't have to worry about that.
You don't have to, well, and the way the club is, and I'm sure the way they're treated, is similar to how it is.
Oh, I bet.
But if anyone out there ever gets an opportunity to be invited to Jupiter Hills Club by a member, please do not pass it up.
Don't turn it down.
No, it is unique. It's perfect. It's a balance of character, class, and it is probably the most elegant country club private in the nation.
Well, you mentioned elevation changes, so let's talk a little, because, so we've established unless we're a member or know somebody, we can't play the course, but we can play one of the holes.
You can play it. That's one thing you can play at
Yes.
World Tour. You probably can't get on this one, but you sure as heck can play the 5th hole at Jupiter Hills at the World Tour amongst the rest of them.
There you go. And so you mentioned earlier, like I said, the elevation changes. So is it drastic on this hole or not too bad? Or
The elevation changes at the hill course is very, very. You think you're in the northeast. That's how much,
Wow,
or the
okay.
mountain, even the foothills. I
Wow,
mean, it
okay.
is very, very hilly. And keep in mind, it is also the highest elevations in all of Florida, not man-made. And it's quite interesting because some of the holes they're a little different. Some, when you go up the hills, remind you of the scrub oaks and the big bunkers,
Okay.
but you're hitting way up in the air, which is like you see in the north. And then when you get down, then it's more flat and like we see here in Myrtle Beach a little bit too.
Okay.
So it's a unique blend of golf. But the biggest thing there is not that the golf is overtaken, but the way the service and the customer service and the elegancy
Just
of the club
everything all together.
almost overtakes the golf. But the golf is magnificent.
I bet the food's pretty good too. I'd like to taste it. All right, so let's virtually play this hole. All right, so you said it's 429. Is that from the tips?
That's from the back. It's
Okay.
429.
So you're going to hit a monster drive out there.
You can have pretty good drive.
Do you have to stay right or left, or can you go down?
There is a bunker to the left-hand side
All right.
that if you don't, you have to either maneuver around it, or if you have to carry it, you have to carry it quite large.
Okay.
Then as you approach the green, there's 2 bunkers to the right and left. The green is very narrow in the front, and then it
Okay.
expands back to the back. Most of the time, the pin is toward the back, which on that particular green from front to back is about 3 club difference.
3 club green. Big old green.
It's a big green.
All right, so we hit, it sounds like we can swing away, though, with driver off the tee. Avoiding that bunker.
You got to avoid the bunker.
All right, Tom, what do you have in?
You'll probably have about 160 yards
Okay.
or 150 yards in, but don't forget
Depends on that
that's to the middle of the
location.
green, so if it's in the back, it's,
Okay, so I'm going to hit my little hybrid up there, right dead in the middle.
perfect.
And then do I have an uphill putt to the back? All right.
You
2-putt, par. Easy
walk
game.
off, you've done it. You played the 19th hole and the 5th hole at Jupiter Hills.
Oh my gosh, I love these lessons, the history lessons, and just learning about these different courses that really make up a world tour. And I was talking about you getting to play all these courses, and then it popped into my head, Mr. Graham, Mel Graham, of course, well, he was the everything. I mean, he brought world tour to be. He got to actually travel and look at and
He
play
did.
and do all that. Not a bad job.
No, he spent a long time traveling, a lot of states, a lot of countries, a lot of research. People were very nice to open their arms to him to take a look at these holes, so he could. They were inspired by these holes, and he's done a magnificent job to be inspired to do these holes. And people who have played these holes, whether it's Augusta, whether it's Pine Valley, or whether it's even to get to go on St. Andrews, or they say when they come in the golf shop, boy, this is pretty neat. This is just how it was.
And the cool thing you and I keep talking about, you can really play this course, I think, one of 2 ways. One, you can really get into it and read the placards and figure out where you are as you go around the golf course. Or 2, you can just play the golf course because it is a seamless move from one hole to another. You would never know you were moving from northeast to southeast to out west to across the pond and everywhere else. It really flows nicely. So
It really does. If we took the plaques down and you didn't know, it's a very playable golf course. It's very pretty. It also is, for Myrtle Beach, it's very hilly. He moved a lot of dirt to be inspired and to emulate these holes. No, it's seamless. It's very nice. I mean, it's not chopped up or anything like that. But with the plaques out there, it's so much fun to watch the customers read the plaques, take pictures of them, especially the bridge.
Especially the bridge, I was
Sit on
gonna
the bridge
say.
and take pictures. And it's quite unique. It's fun for me to watch the people who play us and how much they've enjoyed the golf course, but not only the golf course, but the history of it also.
I know, it's just a very unique experience, even in a place with so many courses like we have. So one of our favorites, folks, when you're making your plans for your fall trip or next spring to Myrtle Beach, definitely check out International World Tour. The website is www.theworldtourgolf.com. Theworldtourgolf.com. Go see Tom. He'll give you the lowdown on everything.
Sure.
Or you can call the golf shop. Tom, can you give them the number?
No, I can't.
No, we can't. Okay, because we do everything via the web. See, and that's my bad because I don't have it written down either. I put you on the spot. But it is on that website, again, www.theworldtourgolf.com. You can also click their banner right here at thegolfdirector.com. And for more information, you can give our golf director, Dave, a call. Hashtag just call Dave if you want to tweet him. And our number, of course, is 844-GO-GOLF-1.
Or you can also call me now, 843. It is 843-236-2000.
236-2000. 843-236-2000.
2000.
We got
Sorry,
it all in there.
I don't normally call myself, so.
Speed dial too. I know someone asked me for my husband's number the other day. I totally had to look it up, so I get it. Tom, thank you so much for being with us, sharing
My pleasure.
another story about one of the holes out at International World Tour, and we look forward to what you've got for us next time.
Thank you.
All right. This has been another edition of Tee It Up Grand Strand with Shane Coughlin and Tom Plinkers, produced and broadcast for you by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com.